Banks and the regulations took a large role in the last conversation. What can be done to sort out the issues with the bank loans? Joey?
Well, I think we should have more regulation on loans. Without regulation, banks start giving out risky loans. They were not checking, consumer credit history or financial stability. All they care about is they're making their own profit. And without regulation, aggressive lending followed. And one kind of loans that got us into the financial crisis is the subprime mortgages. And with this kind of loan, the consumer were not able to make that payment on the loan.
Joey, I'm going to have to disagree with you on some of those points. Okay, if you're a consumer and you're going to the bank to get a loan, I mean, why are you there? You obviously need the money. So think about it, with all these restrictions you're putting on people to be able to get the loans, then these people who actually need the money aren't going to be able to get the loans. So what are they supposed to do for money?
Well, Kelsey, that's the risk that the government has to take. Without regulation, anyone who wants money can get money. But with all the regulation that I propose, we put on the loans. Only those who show that they are qualified and able to pay back the loans will get the money of the loans. Yeah, and the kind of loan that got us into this financial crisis once again is the subprime mortgages. I think we should eliminate that kind of loan altogether. Putting more regulation on loans will actually benefit both sides of the transaction. The banks will get their money back, and the consumer will be able to keep their properties. The bank profits will be less, but it will be more secure overall, and I think that helps everyone.
I'm also going to have to disagree with that. Not everybody benefits from this. You said the consumer qualifications are going to be checked before they can get these loans, so they're not going to be able. So they're going to be disqualified, and they're not going to be able to get these loans. So how are people going to be able to fix their credit scores if they can't get these loans in the first place?
I agree with what Kelsey said, and I don't agree with what you said. I understand where you're coming from, but subprime loans are basically loans to people with bad credit history, and you said yourself that they people in the government that are responsible for checking these loans to see who can pay and who can't. So you're saying that these people won't have the ability to get these loans, but these subprime loans give people a chance to fix their credit score. How do you expect people to fix their credit score if you don't give them a chance to pay off their loans?
Well, Jerry, actually, there are other ways to raise credit scores, and honestly, if I'm in debt and have an awful credit rating and I'm not paying any of my bills, I think the last thing that you need to be worried about is buying a house. Maybe you can just rent an apartment or something. So I think these people need to be paying their bills and just working and getting back on their feet and getting out of debt and starting a savings account. And then their credit score will be raised and they'll be able to get a loan and buy a house and they'll be in a good financial standing. So I think that's actually what people need to be doing in this situation. So subprime loans really aren't necessary at all.
Okay, I think we're missing a big point. I mean, financial institutions and banks, I mean, basically they're businesses. And what's the goal of business? I mean, they want to make a profit. I mean, it's completely understandable. And with these restrictions you guys are talking about, I mean, you're not going to be able to make as much of a profit. And I mean, that's the fundamental goal. I mean, America's supposed to be this free market society, and we can't give out these loans even though they'd make the banks more profit. I mean, the consumers know what they're getting themselves into, and I think they should be held responsible for making their payments at the end of the month. And we just need to focus on the fact that these investment agencies and banks are businesses, and they should be treated like such.
Well, banks, they are businesses, but there is a whole other aspect, and, they're responsible for other people's money, and they also need to make their customers happy, which all businesses do as well. And, businesses don't sell customers products that they know the customers won't like because they want their customers to come back. And just with loans, banks can't be giving out these faulty loans that are making people default and have their homes foreclosed because the customers aren't going to be happy. So we really need to take that into account when thinking about banks. Yes, they are businesses, but they really need to be regulated because obviously they're abusing their power and not doing things correctly when they're not.
Hey, Jerry, what do you think?
Well, I think you're kind of missing the point with financial innovation. The point of the what financial innovation is it is they're making different types of loans that are trying to isolate risk that go along with loans. Like for subprime loans, there's a risk to default. They base people make loans to negate that risk. And of course there's good loans and bad loans, but isn't there a good side and a bad side to everything? And I think you guys are focusing way too much on the bad side. I think you guys need to stop looking at all the bad side and look at what good these loans are doing for people. Of course it's gonna cause problems, but it also causes benefits.
Oh, sorry. So both sides have valid points, but which is better, having financially successful banks or having financially stable citizens?
Well, personally, I think that the stability of the citizens is the most important, and the government's job is to look out for the well-being of citizens. So, obviously they want their citizens to be financially successful, and I think the way to do this is to regulate banks and make sure that they're not trying to hurt the consumer.